Alright, welcome back, guys. I have an update for the WhatsApp privacy policy changes. So apparently, the state of New York Attorney General has sued Facebook with their major changes. Not only Facebook and other 46 states of USA have actually sued Facebook for its privacy policy changes. Now here's the video.
By using its vast troves of data and money, Facebook has squashed or hindered what the company perceived as potential threats. They've reduced choices for consumers. They stifled innovation, and they degraded privacy protections for millions of Americans.
By the way, it's not only Americans, but the whole world. We feel that Facebook is doing injustice to our privacies. And I mean, what are they going to share on Facebook about my private conversation with my private people?
In an effort to maintain its market dominance in social networking, Facebook has employed a buy or bury strategy to impede competing services. First, Facebook used vast amounts of money to acquire smaller rivals and potential rivals before they could threaten the company's dominance. And I'll say billions were thrown at smaller companies in an effort to get them to sell. The two most glaring examples of this unlawful scheme were Instagram and WhatsApp. Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion in 2012, when the company did not even have a cent in revenue. And in 2014, Facebook paid the extravagant amount of $19 billion for WhatsApp, which was far more than industry experts and even Facebook itself valued the company. The second and just as harmful anti-competitive strategy Facebook utilized was suffocating and squashing third-party developers that were invited to utilize Facebook's platform. Facebook would try to squeeze every bit of oxygen out of the room for smaller companies that refused to be bought. Facebook used an open-first, close-later strategy to stop competitive threats, where it would first open its platform to apps created by third-party developers. This increased functionality on the site and subsequently increased the number of users on Facebook. And then Facebook abruptly cut off apps it viewed as a competitive threat. Some of these companies experienced almost overnight drop-off in user engagement and downloads, and their growth stalled. They also sent a clear message to the industry. Don't step on Facebook's turf, or as one industry executive put it, you will face the wrath of Mark, referring to Facebook founder, CEO, chairman, and controlling shareholder, Mark Zuckerberg. This combination has allowed Facebook to maintain its monopoly over the social networking market and make billions from advertising. And today, more than half of all American adults log on to Facebook every day. New Yorkers throughout our state and consumers across this nation use Facebook to stay in touch with friends and family. They share content and have conversations. They post pictures and videos. And with the ongoing pandemic, many use Facebook as a critical place for social engagement. But while consumers have been spending their time keeping in touch on Facebook, Facebook has been spending its time surveilling users' personal information and profiting from it. No company should have this much unchecked power over our personal information and our social interactions. And that's why we are taking action today and standing up for the millions of consumers and many small businesses that have been harmed by Facebook's illegal behavior. And so we are asking the court to halt Facebook's anti-competitive conduct and block the company from continuing this behavior in the future, as well as provide any additional relief it determines is appropriate. By restoring competition, our lawsuit will help consumers have alternatives to Facebook and that they can vote with their feet when Facebook puts profits ahead of consumers' welfare and privacy. I'd like to thank the 47 other attorneys general that has joined this lawsuit, and almost every state in this nation has joined this bipartisan lawsuit because Facebook's efforts to dominate the market were as illegal as they were harmful. I'd also like to thank our colleagues and friends at the Federal Trade Commission for their collaboration. The FTC filed their own lawsuit against Facebook today as well, and we look forward to collaborating with them in the litigation process. As I've said before, we cannot let large corporations gain more and more power over our lives.
No company should have this unchecked power, having the big God Almighty power and no one to answer to. I mean, we also in South Africa should actually open cases against Facebook for actually bullying privacy content, bullying us to actually apply with Facebook rules. No, it cannot happen. No, Mark, it cannot happen. No, it cannot happen. It cannot happen, brother.
Through anti-competitive practices that only serve their interest and undermine the competitive spirit of our nation and the spirit of our economy and cause harm to consumers. This action is part of a renewed focus by my office and other state attorney generals on antitrust enforcement and the harms caused to consumers and the economy when market power is unchecked and unregulated. Today, we are sending a clear and a strong message to Facebook and every other company that any efforts to stifle competition and hurt small businesses, reduce innovation and creativity, or cut privacy protections will be met with the full force of our offices. Again, I want to thank Chief Deputy Attorney General for Economic Justice Chris D'Angelo and Antitrust Bureau Chief Eleanor Hoffman, as well as Assistant Attorney General Johanna Skripzik and Assistant Attorney General Zach Bezons, who were the lead attorneys on this matter. They were joined by a dedicated team of attorneys and legal assistants and economists and analysts, and including Assistant Attorney General Beatrice Marquez, Assistant Attorney General James Yoon, Assistant Attorney General Amber West Els Yan, and Legal Assistant Arlene Leventhal, all of the Antitrust Bureau under Eleanor's supervision, as well as Assistant Attorney General Hannah Beck, Assistant Attorney General Nathania Koslin, Legal Assistant Shirley Wong, and Internet and Technology Analyst Joe Graham.
Bottom line, all it is saying is that no company should actually eliminate its competitors to actually grow bigger and hinder development and hinder growth and innovation. Because by doing so, you will be actually killing small businesses, people's dreams, people's future. So FTC and the state of New York and other also attorney generals are actually suing Facebook for its changing of privacy policies. I think legal team of Facebook didn't actually look at this thoroughly. I think whoever chief developer or CEO or COO of Facebook didn't actually look at this and say, okay, from a legal point of view, how are we? Can we be legal? What's the legal limits can we go over? What's the legal limit that we can be on a safer side? Can we change rules, privacy policies, and be on a safer side? Yes or no? If no, what repercussions are we going to pay? And if there are things to pay, then don't change your privacy policies. I mean, WhatsApp and Facebook is already there. Then why do you have to force us to actually change? to accept your privacy policies by force. If you don't accept your privacy policies, then you will delete our WhatsApp. That yeah, you know what, Attorney General, please go ahead. I mean, sue them and let's see if will they actually change, because a lot of data, a lot of communication, we do it on WhatsApp, and then to have our WhatsApp information be shared with Facebook, even though people won't see it, but the things which I communicate on WhatsApp is going to be seen, or the data is linked to Facebook. I mean, these are two different platforms. We're there because we want to share and we communicate with family. On WhatsApp, we're there because we want to have instant messaging communication with whoever I'm in contact with on my phone book. So having this lawsuit, I think Facebook will be actually selling Instagram and WhatsApp back to the original owners back.